Hey everybody. Hello. Thank y'all for joining in tonight. I am so excited to be back here a second night in a row. And we got a lot to talk about, and I'm just glad that you guys are here, and I hope that you join in on the conversation. And our big topic, of course, is Diddy, but we got a few little topics that we want to talk about before we get into the Diddy. So as you come in, would you say hi to me? Would you hit the like button and share it if you would? Again, welcome to the Black Link Experience After Dark with Phases. That's new, huh? That's new. All right. Hello, Alberta. Hello, Harlem girl. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Welcome in. I'm a few minutes late, but we're here. We're here. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, just a second. Come on in, guys. Hit the like. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about the interruption. So we're here for it. We are here for it. So you like that After Dark with Phases? I love it. I love it. I think I'm gonna just like rebrand and just that's what it'll be. Even if it's, I don't know, but I like it. It's kind of catchy. It's kind of catchy. So I like it. So Harlem, if you're coming in, coming up, I will put the link out. And tonight I'll put the link down, and anybody can hit the link that wants to come up and talk with us as we, get into the conversation. We're just gonna before we do, everything that we say here is alleged in our own opinions on things. Just FYI. So let's just jump right in it. I want to talk really quick on a couple of things before we get into the Diddy stuff. So Quaydarius Davis, he is a football player, and he was caught on camera in a hotel, I believe, choking his girlfriend until she passes out. And then he drags her away out of the camera sight, right? Now, what does that remind you of? First of all, we're going to call him Little Diddy Jr. because that's how he was acting. That's what his actions showed, exactly that, and then drug her off. If you guys go out and see that, thank you, Harlem, for everything that you send to me. I appreciate it. And second of all, like, you ain't even thinking. The cameras are everywhere, and you're gonna allegedly choke her out, and then you can see her body go limp, and then he drags her off the camera. Like, what are we thinking here? He just was not thinking. So I'm sure we will hear more about, I think it's Quaydarius Davis. We'll hear more about him. I think this was after a breakup. They were probably into it or whatever, but he did what he did. And so now there's going to be repercussions for that. So then moving on, you guys heard, I don't know if you heard, but Harvey Weinstein's health is rapidly declining. He wasn't well when he went in. So I will contribute that also to not getting the health care that he's used to getting behind bars when he's not behind bars. So his health is declining rapidly. And so they're talking about that now. That is being reported that he's going down. His health is going down. Also, you guys, what is wrong with Kanye West? Can somebody tell me what is going on with Kanye West? Now, his mom has passed away. We know that Kanye is Kanye, whatever, whatever y'all want to call him, and he's doing the most, right? So he has outed, is what they're reporting, his mom, in that he's saying that he was younger and he heard noise coming from her room, only to find that she was being intimate with a woman, which was his babysitter. So I'm just thinking, like, why are we talking about that now? Your mom's passed away. Let her rest in peace. Like, is that for more clout? And Harlem, I will agree on that. He needs to be instead of having Wendy there, they need to change it and put him there, which allegedly is they're saying the reason that him and his wife have separated is because she tried to put him in a hospital and he wasn't having it. And he was like, he'd rather do life behind bars or whatever before he goes to a hospital, because all they want to do is control your money. So allegedly she was trying to place him in the hospital. Now, do I think Kanye needs some medical attention? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do think that. But I think it's a way to go about it. But of course he's grown. You can't make him do anything. And he just out here. So that's that on Kanye West. Hey, shout out to Cardi B. Cardi B and her man has been spotted at spotted at a nightclub, and looks like she's living her best life. And Offset has responded and was like, I'm happy for her. All I have to say about that is go, Cardi B, you deserve it. You deserve to be happy. And that's not your loss, Cardi. That's his loss. So she is living her best life with her new boo. So shout out to Cardi B. We got to talk about my boy Ray J. So last night we talked about that he's my homeboy. I don't care what nobody say. Ray J is my homeboy, right? So he and Princess Love was caught out over the weekend, tongue kissing it down, right? Hey, beauty, long time no see, welcome. Caught out tongue kissing, tongue down the throat, right? Well, he has since responded and was like, Princess is my everything, and I'm what did he say? Princess is my everything, and I'm effing nothing to her. What I would say about that, and I'm going to continue to say this, I think they're in love, and I think that they need to get over it and get back together. But Princess is on this thing about I'm over it, I know it's over or whatever. No, and that's no shade to her. And the divorce is coming. It's final. I mean it, right? Yet you're out caught over the weekend, tongue kissing your husband. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But Sukihana has responded and was like, I'm happy for them as long as there's no pools around. So y'all know what that means, right? Ray J threw Princess in the pool in front of the whole wide world on Love and Hip Hop. But anyway, I just think that, again, Princess don't want really full time with Ray J, but she don't want nobody else to have him. Ray J is expressing he loves his wife. I think they should just get back together, bring their family back together, grow up, and just live your best lives. Yeah, I know we all are busy, beauty, but anytime you come, we're always happy to see you here. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. All right, so moving on. Yesterday, we also reported that Sean Kingston was detained in a federal prison because he was struggling to come up with $100,000 bond money to continue to stay out. Since then, he has been released. They say it was a struggle for him to come up with that $100,000 to get out, but he has made bond again. He came up with $100K. Now, what I would tell him is get with your people and get some benefit concerts, something coming up to get y'all some money, because you and your mother are gonna need some funds, some coins. And it's sounding like allegedly he's broke. So I don't know, Sean. I don't know. Make another hit song or single, whatever. But you guys are gonna need some coins. You're gonna need some coins. Welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you so much for being here. What else do we have before we get into it? I think that's it. I do have something else. Did you guys see Stevie J? Did you see Stevie J's interview with TMZ? Stevie J was with his new artist. Her name is Miala, something like that. But Hi, Sir Miguel. Thank you for being here again tonight. As promised, we're here. Stevie J, TMZ called Stevie J out with his new artist. She is going to be a rock and roll artist. He said that they're doing something different, stepping outside the box instead of the same old R&B stuff. She said that she confirmed that she is a singer, not a rapper, and they're going to be doing rock and roll. So he is still out here trying to do his thing, Stevie J is. And of course, they asked him about Diddy. He said now, Stevie, they asked him and said that you said recently, Stevie, that Pdidd'y was going to beat all of these charges and he's going to be back and he's gonna be fine. He's gonna make it through it. He's like, I didn't say that. I said let the courts decide what's going on. He said, but free that man. And he said that they asked him about all of the industry being quiet, right, and not coming to P. Diddy's defense. And he said, what I say to that is F them all. Like if it was me, when I came out, I wouldn't F with none of them. Or I would throw a Diddy party, invite them all and tell them to F themselves, right? Or whatever he said. But I don't know about that, about a P. Diddy party, because I'm not sure if there's going to be any more P. Diddy parties. And if he was to come out, if he was to just say just something crazy happened. Did you finish? I don't know. She sent me a lot. Which one, Beauty? But anyway, I just say some for instance, if something crazy happened where he did get out, because Stevie J was like, well, we see where Little Rod's RICO charge was dropped. We see where Busby can no longer practice in New York, and he went about all these things, went about it all wrong. So that happened, but he's still not talking about all the other stuff. So it's just not that easy that it's gonna go away. When we are now hit with yesterday a possible fifth victim. And possibly some more charges coming down the pike, because at the arraignment yesterday, they said that this is an ongoing investigation, despite the fact that the trial is supposed to start here next month in a few weeks, right? The investigation is still ongoing. And we do understand that they did confiscate a lot of evidence. And so it's getting ready to be interesting, and we're going to be all over it. Phases After Dark is here to stay, baby, and we are all over it. So yeah. Let me see. Beauty, let her know which one, Harlem. If it's the one about Whitney, I mean, if it's the one we're talking about with, are you talking about Whitney Webb? Because if we're talking about Whitney Webb, this is a great segue to get into it. So I'm going to put the link in the comments down there in the chat, and whoever wants to hit that link, Harlem, for sure, come up with me so we can discuss it all and we can get right into it. So let me get the link. Let me drop the link really quick here. All right, the link is in the chat. And so we're going to get right into this conversation about, and I labeled this live Mentors in Crime, P. Diddy's Mentors in Crime, because it was very interesting to me when I listened to the live that this young lady did regarding Whitney Webb's article. And it was a long article. You guys will have to go read it, but she did some high level content on it, and it was really good. So shout out to her for that, and shout out to my girl Harlem for sharing with me as well. Oh, I thought that. So I did see that and kind of was able to look at it a little bit, but that'll be something we'll come back tomorrow or the next day to talk about. I really want to talk about that one. I really do want to get into that. Hey, Harlem girl.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How's your voice?
I've been working on it all day. I think I sound a little better than I was yesterday. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, good, good. Thank you for coming back again. Anybody that wants to hit that link and come up and talk with us as we get into this conversation, feel free to do that. So, what I'm talking about is the article by Whitney Webb that was shared with me, one label under Blackmail. So, I am really interested in that. And I'm going to read the whole entire article, but I just kind of took some bits and pieces that I wanted to talk about that she actually talked about in the video. So we talked about Harlem, like we always ask the question, why is it that whenever an individual creates an opportunity for themselves and build this huge empire around them for the betterment of their families so that they can live better, right? And they can kind of not have to struggle financially and have all of these businesses and all these great things going on, yet are committing heinous crimes, right? Heinous crimes. And when I talk to other people about that, they have mentioned that the reason that they do that is because they have so much money and they've done everything they wanted to do and they just get bored. So they create these crimes, for lack of better words, that they commit, and it's for years upon years and upon years, but it comes from somewhere, right? It comes from like exactly what this article is talking about. So what am I talking about? This article that was by Whitney Webb was talking about Diddy and Epstein, and it talks about how basically, but we're going to talk about the part about Clive Davis and Diddy's mentors, Russell Simmons, L.A. Reid, who is something I'm missing? Clive Davis.
Andre Harrell.
Andre Harrell is who I'm missing. Andre Harrell was mentioned in there. And so basically, so I did not know, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Clive Davis worked for CBS. And Clive Davis was fired allegedly. And as I said, everything we say is alleged here. But he was fired from CBS for embezzlement. And what's so significant about that is that he has never had to answer for that, right? So he was fired, he was let go. And just a short year later, he comes back into the industry, back into the business, and becomes this mogul. In 1974, he comes back and he becomes like this huge deal. And he was hired by Bell, and he kind of took up Bell Records. And when he came to Bell Records, he kind of he became the president, and he fired most of the people that worked for Bell and then hired on his own people, and it became Arista Records. Of course, as we know, Clive Davis have discovered a lot of great talent, namely Whitney Houston being one of them, but a plethora of people, right? And as he became this mogul in the business. And so he never went to jail. He never answered for that. But so somehow Diddy comes on to Arista Records. They come into this partnership, and it says that he begins to, like, Diddy was Clive's pimp in the industry, right? No. Clive was Diddy's pimp in this industry. And they said that like Harrell and allegedly Russell Simmons and Clive introduced like Diddy to drugs, introduced him to the drugs and the X and all that stuff that he was later on introducing to people that came around him, and that they compromised his manhood through that. And this is why you see or you hear the stories of Diddy being bi, and that this is why we see Diddy when they talk about the freak offs, and they talk about the white parties, and they talk about everything that goes on from the sexual things to the drugs to the alcohol to the ex-workers and all of these things. It's because he had his mentors in crime grooming him as he came into the business. So I'm going to stop there, Harlem, and you can kind of elaborate, or do you have anything to say at this point?
I just want to ask you, where did you find the article? Because I was looking for it.
So it was not the full article, but in the actual video that she pulls it up, and so I just kind of made it big so that I could read it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I haven't found all of it, but when I do, I want to go back and take. So I was kind of taking snapshots of it as she was going through it, but actually finding the whole article, I haven't found that yet.
Okay. Yeah. It just seems like, a lot of this came from the older guys like Clive Davis. He kind of started all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in some kind of sort of way is tied to Epstein.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
yeah. And so when you say like the older, like it did, like way before the 70s, right? This stuff was happening. And obviously, Clive Davis had this criminal mindset anyway, if he was allegedly fired for embezzlement. So he was taking money, he was doing something to be fired from CBS. So he already had this mentality. So when you think about it, you're thinking, okay, if he was able to come back into this industry, not have to answer for the embezzlement, right? And then he started grooming others. And so he brings Harrell on, who comes in and takes over Arista Records, right? We also know L.A. Reid was a part of this, and that L.A. Reid has been accused of SA as well, right? So it's just like it became this trickle effect way back when. And so when we kind of get our answers when we say, why in the world are they doing things like this when they have all the money in the world? But then you see that their mentors, the people in these high places, right, that has say over their career or not, or who could blackball them in this business or not, they are grooming them to be the way that they are. And so then Diddy comes along, and Diddy, so there's Diddy, and I think they said Harrell, Andre Harrell, L.A. Reid. So then L.A. Reid and Diddy, so L.A. Reid takes over Arista Records, right? And then we know that Justin Bieber and Usher are brought in. And so they're saying that possibly they started grooming Justin and Usher, because guess who was sent to Diddy's house, whatever it was, to do music and all that stuff. But really, when they get in Diddy's hands and they're brought to Diddy, you hear about them not really doing the music thing, but doing other things, right? So even though Justin Bieber and Usher have not come out and talked about it, it's a high possibility, allegedly, that they were rugged and had to interact in sexual behaviors, right? And so they said that this is just something that was so obsessive, and it drove the men. This is what drives the music industry. And either you do it or not. We talked about that yesterday, about compromising yourself. Are you going to compromise yourself and indulge in these things to make it in the business? Or are you going to walk away and just say, it'll take me a little longer, or I may not ever be in the business? And some people just didn't have the opportunity to make that choice themselves, because they got so engorged in these acts that they were stuck. And if they wanted to walk away, they were going to get blackballed in the music industry. So yeah.
And let me just say, the author Whitney, she currently lives in an undisclosed location because she knows so much stuff. She can't bring herself out into the public. She lives somewhere nobody knows.
And that's the thing about it. That's just like, people are saying, why did these people come out just now? Why weren't they talking about it when it happened? Why didn't they call somebody? Because they were scared for their lives. Like, you can't come out and freely talk about what's happening to you without being in fear of something happening to yourself or your family. Families was threatened, right? So are you just gonna go ahead and roll with it now that you're in it, because you got to protect your family now and yourself. So I imagine she has so much information. This article was so long that you have to take time to sit and read it all. It was just so much information about so many people in the industry. So it just happened to, she talked about other people, but there was this part about Diddy and Justin and Usher, Justin Bieber, Usher, and L.A. Reid and Russell Simmons and all that. And now we know also that Russell Simmons is having to come and face the music allegedly on the SA crimes or SA allegations against him as well. So this is just the norm in the business for the people in high places to bring these people that are new to the business, that have no clue, that are only trying to make it in the business and be successful, only to find that once they get in the business, they're being offered these rugs, this alcohol that's probably spiked with Lord knows whatever, and then all these actual behaviors, whether it's a lesbian relation or gay relation, whatever, that you're being brought into to do these things, whether you were like that or not, right? You're being groomed to do that. And so this has just been the norm for the business. If you wanted to make any headway to the top, if you wanted to be a superstar, if you wanted to be at the top of your game and you wanted to maintain that, because you see a lot of times there are people that are very talented and they come out with one hit and they go away. Why? Why did they go away? It had, I don't know. Is it that because they was offered to do or asked to do other things and it didn't, and they were not with it, so they were blackballed in the industry? Whatever the reason is, we don't know. But the reason that she's in hiding, there's too many people in high places with a lot of power that is talked about in the article. So I can see why she's in hiding, just like I can understand why these alleged victims, the people that were victimized and abused and in all kinds of ways, that they would not speak because they were in fear of their lives and in fear for their families' lives. So that's that on that. I want to read more on it, but I'm definitely going to try to find it. I want to find it. As I got those clips, Harlem, you could only, because she was scrolling through it, right? And so she would stop at some point and I could snap it really quick. But I would love to try to find the entire article. And the lady that's presenting that, she tells you that you can go and read the article, but I don't recall her saying where to go find it.
Right. That's why I couldn't find it.
So what do y'all think?
But that whole thing, it was just like really deep. That's why I sent it to you, because it was putting out a lot of information.
It put out a lot of information, and for me, it brought some understanding to why I was saying, or why I was so boggled by the fact that you would build this whole empire and then do things to crumble it, right? And you take care of your whole family, they depend on you, but yet you're doing these things to mess it up. But at the end of the day, I think once you're in, that you're only successful because those people with that power allowed you to be successful. As long as you was going along with the program, they allowed you to be successful. And it's sad. It's sad. So that was my spiel for tonight. This is not a normal night to go live, but that's my spiel on that article. So quite naturally, if we can find the article, we can definitely come and talk even more about it. Like, it's a connection with all that goes back to Epstein, right? And we know what Epstein was about, allegedly, because of what people are saying, and the reason that Giselle Ghislaine is sitting in prison right now because of those things. but it's all the same. Weinstein, Epstein, Diddy, all those, all this is the same type of action and um the same grooming and the same just mess. And so if you find it, Harlem, send it to me and we can talk more. But tomorrow, you guys, we're going to come back live and we're going to talk about the R. Kelly video. And I really wanted to get into it, but I didn't want to be too late coming out here because I'm not on the East Coast and I kind of know that it's late over there. So I didn't want to keep y'all too late unless it's the weekend. Y'all know we can do it all night on the weekend. So, but anyway, you guys, I would say this too. If you guys find anything like Harlem does every day, I'm getting information from Harlem and I appreciate it. But if you guys are finding things, if you're seeing breaking news, because I do work another job, send it my way. Send it my way. Give it to Harlem. Let us know because we would like to be a part of sharing that content. Plus, we're a little nosy over here. So, we yeah. Anything else you want to add, Harlem?
I don't think so.
I want to talk really quickly before we go about these victims, okay? So,
Okay.
that email that you sent me, right? The victim one, we know who that is. At least we think we do, right?
Right.
Victim 4 and 5, I think, is in question, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Because for me, I thought yesterday when they said there's an alleged 5th victim, that could be a 5th. I was thinking it was the chef, the black lady. And you're not thinking that, right?
Because I think number 4
Is
the chef. I'm thinking number 4 is the chef, but I don't think it's the chef that was on the documentary. It was the first chef that filed the suit against him. I sent you the link, I think. Her name is Cindy something. She did a lawsuit against him. I think it was 2017, 2018. She's the one that had to go into the room and service him.
Yes, food. While he was doing whatever he was doing.
Right, yes.
Okay. I'm going to go back and look then. There was a lot. You sent me a lot. You sent me a lot that I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, I got to talk about this. Oh, we need to talk about this. So we have plenty of content. So we could go live every night and the beat would still go on. We still would have more. So again, you guys, I appreciate y'all coming out here on a Tuesday, coming in this room on a Tuesday. And I think I like Harlem. I like Phases After Dark. What you thinking?
Yeah, that sounds good. Mm-hmm.
So catchy, huh?
Yeah.
So I like that. I think we'll rebrand and be doing some rebranding and getting like more technology over here where we can have this pretty stuff. And then also we're going to be getting more like, we'll be pulling up the content so you guys can see actual, so we can show you that we did our research and you can see where we're pulling from and all that stuff. So we have a ways to go, but we're getting there. I appreciate y'all coming out. And so we're going to go for now, you guys. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow for a little bit, and we're going to be talking about the R. Kelly thing, the R. Kelly video that was sent to me. I will look at it in more depth. Plus, we'll have a few hot topics to talk about as well. So Harlem, again, thank you for everything. Continue sending in. Anybody that has something, send it to me. And we're going to go for now. So y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.